Imagine sailing into a place where thousands have vanished without a trace, where ghostly ships drift silently through the mist, where the cries of the drowned still echo across the waves. They call it the graveyard of the Pacific, a cursed stretch of ocean that has swallowed over 2,000 ships and countless souls. But some of those souls never left. Fishermen whisper of shadowy figures standing on deck, only to vanish in the fog. Sailors report hearing voices calling their names from the darkness. And some have seen ships, long wrecked and forgotten, reappear as if time itself has shattered. What happens to those lost at sea? Are they truly gone? Or are they still out there, trapped between the deep and the unknown? This treacherous expanse, stretching from Northern California to the cold waters of British Columbia, has claimed countless lives. But among these wrecks, some stories refuse to sink. Some souls refuse to rest. And those who dare to sail these waters at night whisper of things that should not be seen. Things that lurk just beyond the mist. One of the most notorious wrecks is that of the SS Valencia, a steamship bound for San Francisco that met its doom in 1906. Caught in a brutal storm, the Valencia was slammed against the jagged rocks of Vancouver Island. Passengers clung to life rafts, but one by one they were swallowed by the sea. For days, survivors were spotted waving for help. But when rescue crews arrived, they found nothing, only wreckage and eerie silence. Decades later, sailors and fishermen have reported seeing a ghostly ship in the fog. An old steamship, its deck lined with shadowy figures. Some claim to hear distant cries for help. Could it be the souls of the Valencia's doomed passengers, forever trapped in the place where they perished? Then there's the tale of the Columbia Bar, known as the Mouth of Hell. This deadly crossing at the entrance of the Columbia River has claimed hundreds of ships. Many who navigate this passage have reported phantom lights leading them astray, whispers carried on the wind, and unseen hands pulling them down as they try to swim to safety. One chilling story tells of the Carol Olsen, a fishing boat lost in these cursed waters. The crew vanished without a trace. Weeks later, another vessel reported seeing a boat matching its description, drifting aimlessly. But as they approached, they saw something impossible. The deck covered in mist, shadowy figures moving silently aboard. And then, before their very eyes, the ship faded into the fog and disappeared. But perhaps the most terrifying legend comes from the wreck of the Peter Iredale, a four-masted steel ship that ran aground in 1906. Its skeletal remains still sit on the shores of Oregon, rusted and broken. But at night, locals say it comes alive. Strange lights dance around the wreckage. Shadowy figures walk along the sand, disappearing into the waves. Some claim to hear laughter echoing as if carried by a ghostly wind. Others have felt unseen eyes watching them. And then, there are those who have seen something more. A captain, still standing at the bow of his ruined ship, staring out at the sea, waiting for a voyage that will never come. For those who dare to visit, the air is thick with something unexplainable. It's as if the very ground remembers the wreck, the men who walked its decks, the screams of those lost to the sea. Some say these hauntings are just stories, born from the sorrow that the ocean carries. But those who have heard the voices in the mist, those who have seen the ghostly ships drifting on the horizon, know the truth. The graveyard of the Pacific is not just a name, it is a warning, because the ocean never forgets. The lost never leave, and in these waters, the dead still sail. So the next time you stand on the shore, gazing at the endless waves, listen closely. You may hear the echoes of the past, the whispers of the forgotten, and if you ever find yourself sailing these cursed waters, pray that you are not the next to join them.